For editing text files on Linux, Nano works really well. However, there's a more powerful text editor that comes with a lot more features called Vim. Vim has been around forever. Vim will be around forever. It'll be around to the heat death of the universe. Even on really stripped down Linux systems that have just the minimal amount of software installed, Vim is going to be there. Nano might not always be there, but you can pretty much guarantee Vim's going to be there if you need it. Now, it's not the easiest program to use. It's a little bit counterintuitive the first time you use it, but people who really learn it tend to love it. It's kind of their go-to application for editing any kind of text on their computer. You can download it for Windows too. Some people do use it on Windows. Not a whole lot, to be honest, but it is there as an option if you just happen to love it. Okay, so we'll go through this exercise to show you some of the power of Vim and also some of the challenges that new people have working with Vim. So here I am in my Linux terminal. I just want to show I'm in my home directory. We can just make sure that we're there with cd tilde. We're still there. But we'll make a directory called Vim Fun, because it's going to be super fun. Anything can be fun with the right attitude. Then we'll change directories into Vim Fun. So looking at my working directory, I'm in Home, Ubuntu, Vim Fun. And let's just launch it. So let's just run Vim. And again, it takes over our whole terminal. So we're inside this interface. We're in the Vim application now where we can edit text. Now, before you start mashing the keyboard, just take a second. So I want you to try typing a very specific word. Try typing FLECK, F-L-E-C-K. Nothing happened. F-L-E-C-K. What's going wrong? F-L-E-C-K. Why isn't my text editor letting me type text? Well, Vim has two modes. There's what they call normal mode, and then there's insert mode. When you start Vim, by default, you're in normal mode, which does not let you actually add text paradoxically. You actually have to go into insert mode. There's a reason for it, and I'd say it's a good reason, but it's just, for someone new to it, it's kind of confusing. Because like Microsoft Word does not have two modes. It's just Microsoft Word. So Vim, we have to be careful. We have to know what mode we're in. All right, so in Vim, after typing FLECK, I want to hit the letter I. Notice down at the bottom left, it says insert. I'm now in insert mode. Now if I type FLECK, it's actually going to type the text. I can insert text into my document, and this is a new line. You can hit enter, start typing. These tildes show you lines that don't have any content yet. You can use the arrow keys to move around. You can start working with it like you would call it a regular text editor, if you want to use that word, if it's appropriate. So we can add text, but if we're thinking about comparing this to Nano, down at the bottom, Nano had our shortcut keys. It told us how to save our file, to write it out, how to exit, do all that stuff. Vim is not so helpful when it comes to that regard. In fact, I'm just going to switch over my browser tabs real quick. I want to show you a question from Stack Overflow. One way to gauge how common a problem is based off of Stack Overflow votes. Here's what a classic question. How do I exit Vim? I am stuck and cannot escape. It says type :quit, enter to quit Vim. But when I type that, it simply appears in the object body, like :quit. Like, what the heck? How do I actually quit Vim? Lovely question. Just shows how confusing this is for a lot of new people. The answer is there. The answer is correct. If we want to get out of insert mode and go back into normal mode, we have to hit the escape key. So I'm going to hit escape and just watch that insert change. So escape, I'm back into normal mode. So I'm out of insert mode. Now, if I type shift and hit the colon key, it'll bring up a little menu down. Well, menu, that's maybe going a little bit too far. It gives me this place where I can enter a command. I can use the command W to write, kind of like write out in Nano, write file.txt. So if I hit enter now, this is how I would save a new file using Vim. Write file.txt. Now if I go back to insert mode, I have to hit I again to go back into insert mode. This is more text. So now to save it again, I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to do :W. I already gave this file a name, so I don't have to call it file.txt again. I can just do :W to write it. That will save it. So I'll see file.txt written, 45 bytes. All that's good. So how do I quit Vim? I have to be in normal mode. So if you need, you can hit the escape key multiple times. Not going to hurt anything. It'll just make sure you're in normal mode. Now you can do :Q to quit. Yes. That's how you do it. So let's go back and edit that file. So I'm going to run ls just to show that file.txt does indeed exist in this directory. Now if I say vim file.txt, it'll open that file ready to be edited, but I'm in normal mode again. So if I type fleck, oh dear, I just deleted stuff. I'm going to escape U to undo that. Right, that's not exactly what we want. We have to go back into insert mode. So if I hit the I can start adding text. I'm still in insert mode. If I'm done editing, I can escape to go back to normal mode, :WQ to write, and then quit all in one command. Sometimes though, well, I'll go ahead and cat that out. Cat file.txt, it'll show me the contents of my file. All that's good. Screenshot, I took that screenshot when I was doing this first in Kali Linux, but same principle applies. We're in a different directory. Ignore that minor difference. Let's say, and this happens frequently starting out, I vim file.txt and I start typing something and it's like, wait, what the heck did I just change? Like, I did not mean to do that. So if I just want to exit this file without saving any changes, I can do that. So I'm going to hit escape to go back to normal mode. I'm going to hit the colon character to bring up that little command menu. And then I'm going to put Q exclamation point. This is like quit without saving. Like, get out of here. I screwed something up. I don't want to make any changes. I'm just going to quit and try again. I've done this frequently. Like I'm editing a configuration file. I delete something, or I know I changed something, but I don't want to save the changes because I'm not sure I made the right change. Maybe I want to go back, check the documentation just to make sure I'm doing everything correctly. So I will just :Q exclamation point to quit, and none of my changes will be there. So if I cat file.txt, I still got all the contents. My edits are gone. Everything is fine. So why choose Vim instead of Nano? Vim lets you do some fun stuff like to delete this third line. I'll just show you just as a demonstration. If I want to delete this third line of text, instead of deleting every character one by one in insert mode, like how you might use a regular text program, I'm going to escape and U to undo to put that back. I can just DD to delete a line. I can P to paste. If I want to delete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines, I can run 8dd. It'll delete those 8 lines of text for me. There's a very powerful language for working with files inside Vim. You're kind of programming your text. Very sophisticated. And if you're good at what you're doing, you can work very quickly with text files if you need to make a lot of changes. So it's good if you want to take the time to dedicate to learning Vim, to working with this application. If you're happy with Nano, all power to you. Nano works really well for making small changes. If you want to dig into Vim, there's a website which is kind of fun, vimadventures.com. This will teach you how to use Vim using a game. So I'm going to press any key to start. So here we are. It's even got sound and all that good stuff. So for example, notice that there it says H, J, K, L. H moves left, L moves right, K moves up, J moves down. So those are the keys for moving around text in Vim. So you can navigate left and right, and then you'll pick up your friend here. And then you can navigate your friend through this game. So there's lots to learn. There's tons of Vim tutorials out there if you want to become a power user. If you try it out and you say like this is not for me, just know the basic survivals in Vim. I will get you into insert mode. Escape will get you back into normal mode. :W will write out your text file. :Q will quit. And :Q exclamation point will quit without making any changes to your text file. So it's good to know just the basics to survive in Vim. To thrive really takes hours of research and practice. If you're going to be doing a lot of text editing in Linux, it's worth the investment. If you're casual, I'd probably stick with Nano, to be honest, but I like Vim. I've put in a couple of hours, feel pretty comfortable with it, but there's always more to learn.